used to be called red cherries, but now it's Sergio. Yeah, you can sit down in there, and then like a whole buffet. I mean, not a buffet, it's like that line.
Spread out like Subway type.
Yeah, like that. There's different people that have a grill. You can get your grill, you can get your vegetables grilled, and it's on top. It's not sick. It's so no, search SURCHERO. No, SUR. Yep, it's they got one in Albany. Yep, see where it says. Northwest over Boulevard. So much I get the nachos, but I got the burritos the other day because I want the spinach wrap. They got jalapeno wrap, cheddar wrap, but they got all of that. That's the kind of tortilla that is. I think that's like $7.99 or something like that for like a meal.
For a meal?
It's,
Look at that.
it's so good.
Look at that. That's not going great.
The nachos every time.
Shalom, house of Israel.
Peace.
We thank the Almighty God able us to come out and worship on His Sabbath in spirit and truth, amen.
Amen.
Amen. The golden scripture coming today from Psalm 112, verse 1 through 10. As I read, let the Spirit speak to your hearts. Praise you, Lord. Blessed is the man that feareth the Lord, that delighteth greatly in His commandments. His seed shall be mighty upon the earth. The generation of righteous shall be blessed. Wealth and riches shall be in his house. His righteousness shall endure forever. Unto the upright there arise light in darkness. He is gracious and full of compassion and righteous. A good man showeth favor and leadeth. He will guide his affairs with discretion. Surely he shall not be moved forever. The righteous shall be in everlasting remembrance. He shall not be afraid of evil tidings. His heart is fixed, trusting in the Lord. His heart is established. He shall not be afraid until he see a desire upon his enemies. He hath despised, he hath given to the poor. His righteousness endureth forever. His horn shall be exalted with honor. The wicked shall see it and be grieved. He shall garnish with his teeth and melt away. the desire of the wicked shall perish. We thank the Almighty for His holy word. Amen.
Amen. I'd like to say happy Sabbath to everybody. Happy Sabbath. Praying on the Lord's Sabbath day. Serving Him in spirit and truth. First and foremost, I always like to give praise and honor to the God of Israel, of our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And the God of Israel is Jesus, as we already know. This is a time of the year where the world gives black people Black History Month. And what we try to do in Israel, the way I was taught, to try to shed some rich history of our people in this time of the month, instead of this slave history over in this land that we hear about. It puzzles me every time I hear Black history. They always talk about the athletes, the entertainers, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, all those people that most of the world honor. And you know, I ain't trying to put no dishonor on them, but we have a much richer history than that. And we need to be taught this history so we can understand and we can teach the young ones that's coming up. Because whether you know it or not, the history of Israel is dying out. Very few people know who we are or what we look like. And today we're dealing with Black history according to the Bible, color. And we had to put emphasis on color. I know it's a small thing to most of the world, why he always talking about color, but if you're gonna give a description of someone, that color gonna come up. If you rob the store, they gonna say, all right, he robbed the store. They're gonna give a description of it. He was black, white, or whatever, or what clothing he had on. But when we talk about Israel, everybody gonna say, well, you always talking about color, color, color. Color is very important to understand who the Israelites are, because the Israelites are the ones that have the oracles of God. They have the answers. You won't get salvation unless you be taught by one of us who are Israel. Because God only dealt with Israel alone. And that's the protocol. From the Father, the Son, to the Holy Angel, which is Gabriel, down to the prophet, which is Israel. If any nation gonna know anything, they got to get it by Israel. And people, and it makes me mad how people just disrespect the history of Israel. They don't think it's important. They don't think it's important. But in this history, in this land, they have taught you and I to hate ourselves. And people say, why you say that? To hate yourself. Most of our women, we straighten our hair to avoid the natural. Most of our people lighten their skin up because they feel like the lighter you are, the better you are. Who taught you that? Most of our people cutting the nose off, starting with Michael Jackson, all these different entertainers. Who taught you that? When you try to go against what God has created for your body, you tell God you didn't do a good job. Where do you get this hatred from? I ask people that, where do you get this hatred from that you don't like kinky hair or dark skin or your nose? Your slave master have taught you. The best way you can take the roots from a person is to take the history away from the person. If you don't study the history, you will lose it. They always say we got to get, you know, this example for us in this world, like family reunion. The old heads, man, we got to get together for a family reunion. I never could understand why we got to get together for a family reunion every year. So we'll know the history of our family. But when we get together with a family reunion, guess what? Ain't nobody talking about the Israelite history, and it's a big history. Big history. But we got to make sure that this don't die out, y'all. This don't die out. Because whether you know, we don't know what the time and the hour when God's coming back. We don't. So our children, the old heads that die off, they got to have the information so they can pass it on to keep it going. But if you take the history away from the young ones, what are they going to have to stand on? What protection they going to have? And most of all, our identity has been stolen. So if we don't add color to the history, you will never know who Israel is. Never know. Because these people over there in the land, as we're going to look at and talk about, they have taken everything that was given to us. Not because it was something they did, it was something our ancestors did. The same exact thing they're doing today. They don't want to know about the history of Israel. They don't want to know about the slave history, how we got in this condition. Let's talk about something positive. What's not positive about that to understand why this man is whooping on your head? Or understand how you can get away from the whipping, which is by the law. Trying to lessen the whipping. So we got to keep this going as a nation. If you don't understand that, you miss the whole picture. Whole picture. Let's turn to Psalms 147. I'm telling you, you got to know who Israel is to understand how to get salvation. All nations. If it don't come by us, it's not going to be salvation. Look what we got now. They took Sabbath away and gave you Sunday. They took the black Jesus away and gave you the white Jesus. They told you everything about yourself is bad. Everything in this world, if it got black magic on it, black this, black that, is automatically associated with bad, right? This thing is bigger than what we really know and understand. Bigger. So we're going to turn to Psalms 147 and verse 19. When you get it, brother, go ahead.
He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
He said he showed his word to who? Jacob. Most of the world don't know who Jacob is. This is not talking about just an individual. It's talking about a nation. But Jacob is our father. And he said Israel. What else? Go ahead.
He hath not dealt so with any nation.
He has not what?
Dealt so with any nation.
He ain't dealt with no other nation. The God of this Bible. Period. Go ahead.
And as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord.
He said, as of his judgment, they have not known them. Praise the Lord. And most of the world don't know about the law. And we struggling over this small stuff. We skipping the big stuff. And I'm just focusing on color today. I just want to give you a little blueprint, well, a little foundation of how important it is for us to keep this history going. It's not no small matter. Let's turn to Romans chapter 3. Romans chapter 3. It's very important that you know who Israel is and what they look like. Romans chapter 3. We're going to start with verse 1. Let me show you how important it is. God said in Psalm 147, he haven't dealt with no other nation. Meaning that he didn't come to give no information to no other nation first, but Israel. Israel first. And Israel got to teach the whole world. And we ain't on our job. Because we hate everything about ourselves. I ain't saying that, I'm just saying we don't, because we understand how important it is to be Israel. We don't hate I hope y'all don't hate it, the way y'all look. What y'all stand for, what history y'all got behind you. Let me show you, Romans chapter 3 and verse 1. We're dealing with color. This is how important that you know that Israel is. Go ahead.
What advantage then hath the Jew? Or what profit is there of circumcision?
God asking the question, what advantage does it have the Jew? What advantage do the Jew have? Or the circumcision, which is the covenant, which is you being circumcised as one of the covenants. Go ahead.
Much every way, chiefly, because that unto them were committed the oracles of God.
He said, much chiefly. If you put a chief on something, that means you the boss. He said they was committed to what? The oracles. The answers to the world. Oracle, what's going on in the world. If you don't know Israel, you don't know what's going on in the world. You worry about Donald Trump. And when Israelites know, we keep our eye on Jerusalem. When they build a third temple. When our twin brother Esau is going to institute the man of sin. Because he do not believe in Jesus have came yet. At all. They believe in the Torah, which is the Old Testament. They don't believe in the New Testament. Because the New Testament shows them that Jesus was black. They waiting on this white Jesus. And his word gonna give it to them. Which is the man of sin, which is gonna come out the Roman Catholic Church. If you're not studying with Israel, you know nothing about this. Nothing. Go ahead.
3. For what if some did not believe?
Go ahead. Speak up.
For what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of God without effect?
God said, what if some don't believe? Because you don't believe, that don't matter. If I don't believe, that don't matter. Period. God don't care what you think. This word gonna go out. He said he have a generation, in every generation that gonna preach the gospel. I'm one of them. I'm gonna preach it. Every generation he gonna have Israel there. Israel. Because Elijah thought he was the last one. God told Elijah, look man, I got an Israelite in every generation. They gonna be here. This is what God said. This is important to understand the history of Israel and who they are and what they represent and what the knowledge they're trying to put on the table. But people walk over the knowledge. They look at it like, oh yeah, well man, I get tired of these rules, Jeff. Okay. That's all I can say. Okay. You'll see it in a little while. We finished with that?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
God forbid, yea, let God be true, but every man a liar.
Yes, sir.
As it is written, that thou mightest be the mightiest overcome when thou art judged.
He said, so you'll be the mightiest to overcome when you are judged. What that mean? If you know Israel, you're going to overcome, you're going to be the mightiest. Because if you study under Israel, you know the history of Israel, guess what? You're going to follow the law. Because that's all we talk about. Law. We get on their nerves. All y'all talk about the law. All y'all talk about the Sabbath. And believe me, that's what's going to get you in. Let's turn to Psalms 83. See, we lost it back in the day because our forefathers doing what our forefathers of today are doing. They don't want to teach the word. They don't want to follow the law. So God took these people, which are these Gentiles and these Edomites, and they have did a number on Israel. It's no coincidence that everybody's rising up above Israel. It's no coincidence. They have taken crafty counsel against us. They studied us to make sure we keep them under our finger, period. But we got to know who Israel is. And we're dealing with color. We don't get the color in them, just laying a little foundation. Psalms 83 and verse 1. Go ahead.
Keep not thou silent, O God.
Yes, sir.
Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God.
Yes, sir.
For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
He said, your enemy have made a tumult, which is a trap. He trying to trap you in everything that we do. You can see this going on in the world today. In schools, I heard a police officer tell me that the principal want to put a charge a little kid with a felony. 13 years old, just want to mess up his life at 13 just because he threw a piece of paper and hit him in the head with it. Little small stuff. And guess who? What color the principal is? Black. Listen what God said about what these nations going to do to his people. Go ahead.
3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
Yes, sir.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
They taking crafty counsel against your people, against our people. They set up slavery. They set up amendments, Jim Crow, all these things for us to keep us under slavery, period. You still in slavery, I tell people. And folks say, man, ain't no slavery. Go out the country. Can you go to all these little Virgin Islands? What do you have to have when you go to the Virgin Islands? Passport. That's permission for master to say you can go outside the United States. How are you free? Everybody have to do that. But Israel go through a little more red tape than that because we got felonies on our record, most of us, a lot of us. Go ahead, brother.
For they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation,
Watch this. Go ahead.
that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
Look what they said. Let us cut them off for being a nation. That what? The name Israel. When you say Israel to our so-called African American, yeah, man, I don't know what they talking about Israel. That's these people over there in the land. I'm a black man, as Muslims say. I'm a black man. I'm like, man, what kind of black man are you? It's multiple black men in the Bible in the world. You got the African, he a black man. You got the Israelite, he a black man. Which one are you? Oh, I'm African. See, you don't even know. He said they have taken crafty counsel against you to do what? Cut you off from being a nation. And how do you paralyze a nation? You take away their history. You take away their bylaws. You take away all the stuff they can know about themselves. When they raided Africa and Israel, they had a library called the Alexandria. A library over there. It had all our history in there. They destroyed it. They said, man, we can't let these black folk know they used to be kings and queens. They took it. Crafty counsel. Go ahead.
5. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee.
See, they consulted together. They get together. All right, now you know we got to do something about the Negroes. What we're going to do now, we can't let them own too much of nothing. That's why you don't have very many owners in the NFL. 90% of the NFL is white owners. 90% of the NBA ball players, NBA teams are white owners. You don't have very many people owning nothing because they don't want you to have no power. And most of all, they don't want you to know your history. He said they are Confederate. Well, it's Confederate. Why? Y'all wonder where to get the Confederate flag from? And what it stands for? It's to keep us under their feet. That's why the southern part of the world, for the last people let their slaves go, they want to hold to that Confederate flag. This is where they get it from. We want to keep y'all under wraps. Go ahead.
The tabernacles of Edom,
Yes, sir.
and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes,
Yes, sir.
7. Gabal and Ammon and Amalek, and the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre.
He telling you all the nation. He said the tabernacle of Edom, that's Esau, our brother. The tabernacle of the Ishmaelites, that's the Arabs. The tabernacle of Moabs and Hagarenes, that's Arabs too. You talk about the Philistines, that's the Africans. They was one of our slave masters too. We spent 400 years over there under Pharaoh. And there was two black nations. And these people can't understand. They always tell us, oh, black people enslaved black people. You're right, they both were black, but it was two different nations. Two different nations. And because our ancestors didn't know about this book, MLK, Malcolm X, they didn't teach us none of that. All that stuff, knowledge they had, where have you heard Martin Luther King teach us about these laws? I listened to the man. The man had a great knowledge. Won the Nobel Peace Prize, got plenty of knowledge. But he never put it on the table about who Israel is. Never. Maybe I can find this in him. I ain't heard it. No disrespect to him. He tried to bring some peace, but it ain't gonna work. Only Jesus can deliver us out of this captivity. Period. But we can live a little better if we follow these laws. He said, I'll be a little sanctuary to you in your enemy's land. But these are the people right here that he said was going to take crafty counsel against them. And they have, all of them. Go do your history. We've been enslaved in all these people's lands. You finished with that?
We have one more. Verse 12.
Go ahead, jump down to verse 12. Listen to what they said. Go ahead.
Who said, let us take to ourselves the house of God in possession.
Look what he said. He said, these people said, let us take to ourselves the house of God. Who took the house of God? Our twin brother Esau and their possession. Let me show you. God said, he told them, you shouldn't even mess with this stuff. He saw them up. They saw some good stuff over there in Israel, the temple and all that stuff. They wanted to know how to govern the land. They even got one of our Levitical priests to come back up here and tell us the laws of the land. Tell them the laws of the land. Let me show you something in Obadiah. Let's go to Obadiah. Obadiah, even one chapter. And it talks about our people. They stripped us, man. He said, these people have taken our possession. Taken them. And I'm going to show you what he meant by taking them. You're going to get to that color in a minute. This is Black history right here. Why they don't ever go to Moses? Why they don't never go to Elijah? Why all these Black history programs they have in these churches never go to the prophets in the Bible? They never go to them. You know why? Because they pastor don't know that these people were black. They don't give a care. Every last prophet in this Bible was black. Israel. Or Israelite. Obadiah, we're going to start with verse 1. Let me show you what God means when he said they have taken their possessions. Verse 1, go ahead.
The vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord God concerning Edom.
Yes, sir.
We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle.
He said, let God concerning Edom, saith the Lord concerning Edom. And most people don't know who Edom is.